Anyway, welcome back, everyone. This is your favorite show, Anything Goes, where, of course, anything goes. I am back. We have our co host, Christian. He is back. We are ready to go. And we have our next topic. Our next topic is going to be what is your thoughts on marijuana? Now, personally, I do not smoke marijuana. So I really don't think it concerns me, but I have nothing against it. I think it's just a plant and it's natural, and I am one of those people, and it doesn't bother me at all. And in fact, there have been obviously very good uses for marijuana. Um, so yeah, what do you think? Tell us what you think.
Well, um, thank you for discussing this with me, Dom. As you are aware, um,
You're a bit of a stoner.
I I am a bit of a stoner, you could say, yes.
Yeah.
So let that be known. But the interesting thing is, it didn't start for me as a recreational use sort of deal. It started
Mm-hmm.
back sophomore year, college, roughly, maybe into freshman year.
Sure.
And before I even tried it myself, I had been raised because my dad was, he smoked weed, but he was addicted to harder substances, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
my mother, my family unit, brought me up in a very anti-marijuana household. Like, we even had discussions about it in high school where it's never okay kind of thing, whatever, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
And this is an entirely different topic we could discuss at a later point, but I started smoking marijuana, like I said, sophomore year of college, when I reached out to a friend when I had what is known as a dental abscess, where you have a tooth that is so decayed or so infected that it's eaten through the inner linings of the tooth, killed the nerve, the blood vessels, and now there's just like a pimple kind of sitting at the base of the tooth, and it can get bigger. It can be
Right.
dangerous, and if anybody out there listening has heard one of them, had one of them,
Mm-hmm.
you know how
It's pretty bad.
excruciatingly painful it can be.
Yeah. Totally.
And this one wasn't no ibuprofen, Tylenol, even prescription level drugs I was getting from my dentist were not helping the pain. So I had heard, obviously, that
Yeah.
marijuana helps with pain.
Yeah. Sure does.
It sure does.
It sure does.
And I smoked that night, and funny enough, ibuprofen, Tylenol, prescription drugs from my dentist, nothing touched it, but marijuana, and I was perfectly capable of running errands. I mean, people would look at me because I was clearly stoned, but I was like,
That's fine.
I was embarrassed by that at first, but
Who
it
cares?
reached a point where I was like, who cares?
Yeah.
If I don't do this, I'm going to be in excruciating pain. And like I said, you led to, I'm a stoner
Yeah.
recreationally now, especially since I live in the state of Washington. I take advantage of a
Might as well.
wonderful system here. But
Yeah.
it's not like I started smoking when I got that abscess and then started using recreationally.
Right.
I couldn't. But it's funny enough, like I told you, this story, my mother, my family unit brought me up very anti-marijuana.
Yep. Same.
Shortly after that incident, I opened up to my mom about this, and she had no problem with it. And she actually helped me facilitate going to the doctor and getting a write-off for dental pain, anxiety, those kinds of things, to have a medical card in the state of Montana.
Yeah.
And I started using medically lightly over time.
Yeah. Cool.
And this is a discussion we can have at a later date, like I said earlier. But to viewers out there, if and when you see me on camera, I have a very nice smile. I'm aware of that. let it be known, these ain't real teeth. And yes, I'm 26 years old with a set of dentures because I had a
It's fine.
very rare genetic condition that abscess I told y'all about is one of many abscesses I had and one of many teeth I had pulled. But
Right.
that's even a video I've thought of making. So if
Yeah.
you guys are interested in hearing my story about why I lost my teeth by the age of 26, it's funny enough, I actually had the surgery and got my teeth taken out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a week or two after my 26th birthday. So if you want to hear that story, leave a comment down below and
Yeah, we
I
do.
will make one of those videos.
Yeah, we'll definitely
and I
talk
will
about
tell
it
you
here.
my story.
Yeah, totally. We'll definitely do it. What do you why do you think marijuana gets such a bad stigma in the media?
I don't think it does as much anymore. I think it's become a lot more socially acceptable
Mhm.
than it was, say, when our parents were our age, right?
Yeah, totally.
And honestly, I think the biggest factor into all of this problem was the war on drugs in, I think, the 70s and 80s
Uh-huh.
with the Nixon and the Reagan administration.
Totally.
It's like we have the tapes of Nixon's blatant racism against the Jewish community, the black community, the Asian community.
Yeah.
So we know that the war on drugs was basically a way of being racist, right? And when you look at the statistics, that you're more likely to go to jail on simple plot charges if you're a person of color than if you're white is just ridiculous. And
Yeah. Okay.
that's one of the few places I do believe systemic racism exists in this country, is around the war on drugs effort. Is,
Okay.
you know, even expanding from the marijuana concept. I am, as we talked about earlier,
Mhm.
I'm a very open doors, anything goes kind of liberal thinking person, and this concept to me not only applies to marijuana, we'll go back to marijuana in a second,
Mhm.
but look at the Netherlands and look at the state of Oregon, for example. I believe the state of Oregon has decriminalized all drugs, even hard drugs, and basically anything goes in Amsterdam in the Netherlands, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, totally.
And to some people that might seem like,
that's a crazy
why
idea.
are we just doing this? Why are we letting this happen? In my opinion,
yeah,
what's happening is a good thing, because inherently, think about it. If you tell somebody that they can't do something,
they're going to want to do it even more.
Think about, if you tell your 18-year-old, you can go to that party, but you better not drink.
Well,
what's the first thing the kid's going to do when they get to the party? They're going to fucking drink.
Well, exactly.
So it's like, if the government says, yeah, if you want to ruin your life,
go for it.
And have heroin, go for it. And we will provide it in a safe way for you, I guess. But
that's even a thing, but all right.
I mean, yeah, it's weird that it's a thing, but hey.
All right, whatever.
It's better than having a complete black market and series of gangs on the streets that control the substances, and
I suppose so.
People are dying. Like, if the government's providing it to these people, the government can also help provide help, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Like, the addiction rates are so much lower in the Netherlands than they are here, exactly for this reason.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's fair game.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah. So,
And back to the marijuana argument, like I was saying, I think it's, like I said, based in a racial intolerance mold. And I think part of the reason that argument is justified even more is when you look at it, I don't know what year it was banned, but I know for a good long while marijuana was legal in this country for adult use.
Yep.
Just like alcohol. Nobody would think twice about it. And then we all suddenly decided in the 1900s somewhere that, nope, gotta ban it. It's evil. It's like, we've been using it basically since the beginning of the country, and then you look at other societies. Like, look at the Native Americans.
Oh, yeah, dude.
They used it.
Yeah, they were getting high all the frickin' time.
Look at how old they lived to be.
Yeah.
Like some of their elders.
That's facts, isn't it?
And they were just fine.
Yeah. And
like,
they thought it, like, you know, stimulated a whole nother, you know, part of your body and, you know, did that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, whatever.
I think it just needs to be in terms of what should we do about it.
Yeah.
I think we just need to. It's a simple solution. I really don't get it. Like,
okay.
Step one is take it off the Schedule 1 list of narcotics on the federal level.
Okay, yeah.
Like, Schedule 1 is the hardest drugs out there. And as somebody who smokes marijuana quite frequently,
yeah,
and has never smoked anything like meth or crack or coke, anything like that, but I know people who have.
Yeah.
I can tell you, there is a difference between the two types of people.
Yeah, definitely. Big time, isn't there?
Like, yeah, marijuana's a gateway drug.
Technically.
To a box of fucking unopened frosted flakes in the pantry, maybe, but...
Okay.
Really? I don't think it's worth the hype people have given it all of these years.
Yeah.
And take it off the list of narcotics.
Yeah,
make it legal at the federal level, like we have cigarettes and alcohol. Put it on the list up there with it.
Yeah, that's.
Give it an appropriate tax that all states can follow and regulate as they deem fit.
Yeah, I think.
And at that, the president should pardon. I mean, President Biden already has, and I thank him immensely for doing so. But Congress should act to do exactly what I just said, and President Biden, whoever is president, should pardon and exonerate anybody sitting in a federal or state or local jail or prison.
Yep. On
a simple marijuana charge.
Yeah, it is absolutely ridiculous that there are people...
And, like, even armed marijuana charges. Like, fucking humanity is complex. People's lives are complicated. So let's say somebody gets pulled over. I'll give you a hypothetical. Say somebody gets pulled over. And I know it's not legal to have firearms and marijuana. And I don't have firearms because I'm scared of firearms. I've never shot a gun in my life.
That's okay.
Kind of an embarrassing fact about myself, but
that's all right.
Like, it's the truth.
Okay.
I'm a Montanan who's never shot a gun.
Yeah, right. Don't see that very often, do you?
No, you don't.
It's all right.
Clearing my throat. Sorry, but it's not illegal for somebody to have 6 12-packs of beer and a shotgun, is it?
Nope.
So why is it illegal for somebody to have weed, a little bit of weed, and a gun? It's like,
dude, I have.
They might be a hunter who likes to get high. There are people like that. Like I said, life is nuanced.
Yeah.
Life is complex, and if the federal government could understand that, we'd be on a good level. Because, like I said, let's give you. I was giving two hypothetical situations, and I realized, wait, that would still be a crime. But let's talk about that. That's what we're here to do, right? So,
Okay.
like I said, two hypotheticals, if somebody gets pulled over,
Yeah.
and they have two 6-packs, two 12-packs of beer in their backseat and a shotgun, they're coming home from hunting. That person, as long as they're not drunk or doing something extremely stupid, and they have the correct licensure for their weapon,
Yep.
they're going home.
Yeah, absolutely.
They ain't going to jail.
That is correct.
But take another hunter, same county, pick a state, any state, driving home from a hunting trip, maybe stop by a dispensary, and let's say the U.S. would pull its head out of its ass and legalize, firearms and marijuana possession, because really, I know hunters who smoke weed.
There's a lot who do.
I'm seeing a guy right now who's a hunter and smokes weed.
And smokes.
So,
yeah.
Those people exist.
Yes.
But if they were to get pulled over, especially if weed isn't legal in that state, and they're bringing it over from another state, not only are they getting jail time for the marijuana, they're getting jail time for the firearm, usually because the police have a seeming suspicion that marijuana and firearms means gay.
Yeah, I suppose that's probably true, huh?
And yes, to an extent, very much so true.
Could be true, yeah.
But again, I feel like the law so often falls short when we deal with nuance. Because like I said, I'm not talking about somebody getting pulled over with a bit of weed and like a pistol. I'm talking about somebody getting pulled over with like a bit of weed and maybe, I don't know, guns.
Okay.
Something you would use to hunt with, like a big wooden gun. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
You picture it?
Yep, I know.
Even that even probably get more jail time, because it's a bigger weapon.
Maybe.
You could have a bazooka and a pickup truck full of beer, and as long as you had the correct licensure for the bazooka,
yep,
the officer would say, "Thank you, have a good night."
Yep, have a good one.
And that's my other thing, is like, I am a person who views marijuana up there with alcohol. It's like, it's not nearly as destructive as alcohol. Like, something I like to say to people is, why I like smoking weed is, you won't fire somebody if you're a manager listening to this, you wouldn't fire somebody, right, if you know they go home most nights and maybe have a glass or two of wine and get a bit buzzed to just fucking relax for the day, right?
Yep.
And you might even do that yourself, but you know you're not going to go to work the next day and might have to pee into a cup. And if there's ethanol in your system, you're getting canned.
If only.
But suddenly, if you want to do this with weed in some states, I guess you have to pee into the cup. If there's cannabis in your system, you're getting thrown out. You better hope they don't share that information with anybody, because it might be a crime in your state to use it. And that's absurd to me, because like I said, weed, alcohol, they're one and the same a little bit, except I think weed is better. Because you have even heard me say this, that two scenarios, y'all, to those listening.
Yeah.
Scenario one, I go home at night, I smoke 3 full bowls of weed from my barn, pass out watching some Disney movie on my bed. Wake up the next morning a little groggy, a little bit gross, take a shower and get going with my day after about an hour.
Yep.
Scenario 2. I go out and get drinks, come home, and
Mm-hmm.
get drunk, lose count of how many drinks they've had,
Goodness gracious.
either get alcohol poisoning
Or
or
die.
even worse, something like that, and fall asleep, choke on my own vomit.
Yep.
But society has said something like that. That's just fine if you want to go home and risk your life like that. But if you want to smoke weed,
Oh, that's
absolutely unacceptable. And I'm
yeah.
like,
That's just
somebody explain to me why. Like, give me an actual argument. Because if you're going to say to me, well, it might cause cancer, then here's my respectful argument to you. Blow it out your ass. Because
I don't think I've heard
until
that
this
one yet.
country is going to say to itself, maybe we shouldn't let people poison themselves with nicotine sticks every day.
Don't you do that enough though?
I mean, yeah, I do. But
Exactly. So here's the real question. Would you just give up cigarettes completely and smoke weed only?
that's a good goddamn question. I don't think I could, actually,
Really?
because
Why not? You know that.
affordability.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's fair, I guess.
Smokes are cheaper than weed is by a dime a dozen, and plus you can only buy weed
yeah.
with cash.
Right. Okay, so
like I actually have to go into the bank and
God, dude,
withdraw
that's
money from the account, so I don't have to take like stuff out of the ATM.
right. That's like super like annoying though. Like, so I think
may I say something for a second?
yeah, go for it.
If by any off chance somebody hears this who is associated with, or even you yourself are hearing this, and I'm talking to the senators and representatives at the federal level and the state level for the state of Washington and every other state in the nation where weed is a recreational use, is recreationally available to people over the age of 21.
Yep.
I say to you this: please work with Congress, President Biden, the Treasury, and the banks to allow consumers to purchase their marijuana just as we purchase everything else in this country usually.
Yep.
With our debit and credit cards. Nobody really carries cash anymore because it's all on little pieces of plastic.
It's all digital.
And it costs money to withdraw from the ATM. And granted, it's a little bit of money. It's not that much, but
yeah,
that's going back to the bank, who's not allowing me to use my card at the dispensary.
Yeah,
seems oxymoronic to me.
Little bit, but
so again, if you guys are listening, please do something about this.
Yeah.
Thank you.